Hello, faithful, and welcome to another edition of White Throne Metal Radio's Top 10 Songs. I am your host, Keven Crothers, station manager for White Throne Metal Radio, staff writer for Heaven's Metal magazine as well, lover of all things hard rock and heavy metal. And today we want to talk about Impellitteri. Some of you may have never heard of Impellitteri before, or maybe you only remember the name but not the band. I'm going to talk about top 10 songs. Going to kind of go over the catalog a little bit. You know, these are my favorites. Again, not designed to be some kind of scholarly representation to say these are the 10 best tracks, because so much of this is personal opinion. And I've been a fan of Impellitteri since basically 1987. Quickly, my buddy Rick Hunter, aka Rick Martinez from Soldier, he and we were on a trip to San Francisco, and I remember we stopped at, I don't even remember what record store it was, but he picked up a copy of the 4-song EP, the original Impellitteri EP. He had read about Chris, 87, who knows what mag it was back in the day, and I remember we put it in. And then all of a sudden, Lost in the Rain comes on, and I was hooked. I remember playing, I think we must have listened to that thing 3 times in a row, and every time Chris would play a lead, we just looked at each other going, how does he do that? That is insanity. And I've dug Impellitteri ever since. I have pretty much the entire catalog. There are 2 albums I am missing, so I wasn't really able to add tracks from those into my top 10. But frankly, my favorite Impellitteri stuff is with Rob Rock. Not to diss on Graham Bonnet at all. He's a fantastic singer, but Rob Rock to me has always been the voice of Impellitteri, and frankly, one of the top 5 or 10 vocalists, singers of all time in the field of hard rock and heavy metal. What else can I say? He to me, Rob ranks up there with Dio, with Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, Jeff Tate, the best of the best. Just like Chris ranks up there. The comparisons that come across are to Yngwie Malmsteen, because of the or Paul Gilbert, for instance, because of the incredible speed and fluidity, but Chris has his own style, and whatever you like or don't like about it, I think it's fantastic. The key for me with Chris has always been his songwriting. He can write songs. They're not 6-minute guitar extravaganzas, which he undoubtedly could do that as well, but he can write tunes. I mean, flat out. I mean, that EP, we're going to talk about 10 of those songs here in a minute. The catalog, the Black EP, 4 songs, Rob Rock on vocals with Tony Silva on drums. Chris, I believe, also played bass on this. This here was not an original. This is a Century Media reissue. But just absolutely gotta love how the stuff flies out of there, all the lyrics, everything. And I've always, again, this EP get played to death. The follow-up, Stand in Line with Graham Bonnet on vocals, a bit more melodic. I honestly thought this was, I have a feeling, and I'm sorry to say this, this is when I purchased this online, I thought this was a real deal. I think this is a boot. I'm a little disappointed in that. But the tracks themselves, Stand in Line, Since You've Been Gone, all that good stuff. Gotta remember the video. I used to play it on MTV. Great stuff. The follow-up from 92, Signed to Victor in Japan. This album, Grin and Bear It, Rob Rock returns on vocals. Fantastic release. This version this is the Japanese. I have a couple of these I have are also Korean editions, but this one here, a great record. Very underrated and almost, I think, in some respects forgotten. But the first Impellitteri CD I ever bought was this one with the UB strip, Answer to the Master. I think I paid $40 for this in 1994 and found it at a shop in the Peninsula. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've never paid this much for a CD before in my life. So, great stuff on here. This is a Korean version that I found. I don't know how someone just unloaded it, but I found a couple of these just unloaded at Rasputin Records here in Modesto, which is close to where I live here in the Central Valley. The follow-up, Screaming Symphony, another one I found in the bargain bin. I couldn't believe it. This is also, actually I think these are both Japanese. But Screaming Symphony, great stuff on here. Again, all of these have Rob Rock on vocals. Fantastic stuff. This one was a late pickup for me. This is Eye of the Hurricane. Eye of the Hurricane came out in, what, 97. Screaming Symphony in 96. Answer to the Master in 94. This particular issue was released in Japan, in England, because it also contains, they added tracks for Victim of the System. It's kind of strange. At first I thought maybe I had inadvertently picked up a bootleg. The label itself I'm not familiar with. Distributed in the UK by Pinnacle, made in England. So Chris, sorry again. I'm trying to get all original stuff, but you know, when you have to end up getting the stuff online, it's just very frustrating. But there was the EP, Victim of the System, which appeared after Grin and Bear It. So you had Grin and Bear It, Victim of the System, Answer to the Master, Screaming Symphony, Eye of the Hurricane, then Crunch. This came out in 2000. There's a bootleg, I believe it's a bootleg, Live, Fast, Loud, which ironically I could have picked up when I bought my first Impellitteri disc, but I had no idea what it was. Again, that was 25 years ago. Sounds crazy, right? Again, just the full band. After that, the band kind of dissipated for a while. You know, internal, we'll just say Rob wanted to do something, Chris wanted to do something different. Again, not designed to be a history here, but there really wasn't anything for quite a while. After that, 2004, I don't have that album, Pedal to the Metal. And with that one, I believe, I gotta back up. There are two albums I'm missing. System X, which came out in 2002. That one, if I'm not mistaken, that's Graham Bonnet on vocals. He came back in after Rob left. And then in 2004, another album came out, Pedal to the Metal. Again, don't have that. Then the follow-up was 2009's Wicked Maiden. Great album. And just all the way around a favorite of mine. And then we didn't hear anything for like 4 or 5 years. The band signed to Frontiers out of Italy. I was so glad when I heard that because I knew we'd be getting product. We'd be getting new releases. And here in the United States, we'd be able to actually get them. So the first one was Venom. Came out in 2015. A fantastic album. Rob is back in there on lead vocals as well. And then I can't believe this came out 2 years ago. Maybe a year and a half. 2 years. Nature of the Beast. This is the Japanese version. There is and I bought the Japanese version. Ultimately, there's a bonus track, but I also have the bonus DVD, which has music videos for Wicked Maiden, Last of a Dying Breed. Then it has the music videos for Venom, Empire of Lies, We Own the Night, and Face the Enemy. And so it's got different artwork and everything. I hope you can see that. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad on the disc. There we go. So, again, fantastic album. One of the best albums of 2018. Again, this was the Victor release. And double disc, like I mentioned earlier. Top 10 songs, so let's get cracking. How I wish there was an actual Impellitteri live DVD. Something sanctioned. Something that's, you know, just, it would be wonderful if there was. I mean, I don't know how else to even put it. It would absolutely, sorry guys, it would kick ass if we could get a live DVD of that. Because here in the United States, the promoters, for whatever reason, have seemed to say that Impellitteri is not a draw. So I've often thought, because Impellitteri, they cross genres here in the sense that the crowd that would come see them, all the guitar players, of course, the fans who are familiar with the material from the late 80s, stand in line. You have that. Of course, you have to talk about the Christian crowd who's going to come in, because Impellitteri are not a Christian band. They are not an evangelical band. Rob Rock has made and picked no bones about he is a believer. And because of that, his lyrics reflect that. But that doesn't mean he's out there being Billy Graham. Chris, I believe, is also a believer, from what I have been able to gather as well. The other members of the band, not so. Okay. So I've often wondered, and maybe someone's kicked this around, why can't Impellitteri and Stryper and Wasp, why can't you guys get a package together? All three of these bands who essentially cross-pollinate, and you do some type of a, you know, theater tour, 1,000 seats, right? Regency Ballroom, San Francisco, larger clubs, I suppose. To me, that would be the trick, to get one or two of these other bands who Stryper still does tour here in the U.S. They, you know, they have their own crowd, which in many respects cross-pollinates with the Impellitteri crowd. That's my 2 cents. You know, promoters, legitimate promoters, 20 shows across the U.S. You can't tell me that show in Southern California wouldn't draw 1,000 people. I mean, seriously. Wasp, Stryper, and Impellitteri? Or how about Stryper and Impellitteri, period? You have a co-headliner, you each play an 75-minute sets. You know, 750 to 1,250 seaters across the U.S., 20 shows. To me, that's a no-brainer. If I was in the promotion business, that would be something. Let's talk about it, right? So hopefully we'll get another Impellitteri album. I don't know what the deal as far as the contract was with Frontiers. Hopefully it's 3 albums, not just 2. We'll see. So let's get down to it, shall we? Top 10 songs. So coming in at number 10, it's the one Graham Bonnet track that is on my list, and that is Stand in Line. Can there be any doubt? It's an absolutely classic song that frankly, you got to play it. It's a great song. It's a hit. It's a minor hit, but it's a hit. Stand in Line comes in at number 10. And I got to tell you, when I put this list together, this is just as hard for me as King's X, frankly, because there are so many great songs throughout the catalog. Going back through and listening to all the albums, the ones I don't hit all the time, that would be, it was still like, well, what can I put in? What if it can't make it? How about an honorable mention? All right. Coming in at number 9, though, title track and this to me is a deep cut. It's a deep cut. Title track off the latest album, Kill the Beast. I know they did the music videos for Symptom of the Universe, and frankly, we don't. Top 10 songs do not count cover songs. It's original material. So, but Kill the Beast, it's got a great groove. It's mid-tempo, great solo. I love the breakdown that in the middle of the song itself. Absolutely fantastic. Great solo. Chris is playing. Everything about it is top drawer. Coming in at number 8 off of Venom. And honestly, this song could have ranked higher. It probably should have ranked higher on my list. You know what? It's gonna rank higher because I'm gonna pull a mulligan here. We're gonna put this song. It's gonna go quite a ways up the list because as I'm sitting here, I'm going. I've been listening to another Impellitteri album for the last day or two, going, man, how do I get one of these songs in here? And I got to tell you, there are so many good songs that coming in at number 8 is off the Answer to the Master album, and it's not it's another deep cut, frankly. Hold the Line. And the reason why Hold the Line, the riff in the chorus, the picking part that Chris plays is so intricate. And then, out of nowhere, you get this rhythm portion that just, hold the line, hold the line. Life's a journey till the end of time. And it just, I'm like, what is that? It's fabulous. Absolutely fantastic. I listened to that and I went, I remember why I like that song so much. Coming in at number 7. Let's go back to the Grin and Bear It album, going deep. How about the opening track, When the Well Runs Dry? Love the riff. It's got a great groove, mid-tempo. It's a hook and a half, but I believe it's Ken Mary plays drums. Is he on the drummer on that album? I have some of that stuff out here in front of me. Yeah, I believe so. Ken Mary did drums, or at least did drums on part of the album. Stet Howland, perhaps. Oh my goodness. That groove on that song is so massive. It's a song I hope they would still play live. When the Well Runs Dry comes in at number 7. Coming in at number 6, title track to Answer to the Master. Great song, another solid solo. I mean, every song's got a blistering guitar solo, frankly. Great song. Coming in at number 5, off the EP, Lost in the Rain. Rob's vocal, Chris's soaring guitar, spectacular, great riff. It's a fast song, kind of almost like a trademark Impellitteri, upbeat, good to go all the way around. Lost in the Rain. Okay, coming in at number 4, the top 4, and this is where the Mulligan song went. So it bumped like four levels up, and that is from the Venom album. I listened to that whole album and so many times when it came out, that this song had one of the best grooves, and it's a hook. It's mid-tempo. I'm talking about Face the Enemy. It's a great song, a great intro. Love the drums on that song. Chris, what a brilliant riff, and over it. So good, so good. Face the Enemy comes in at number 4. Here we into the top 3 now. And some of these might surprise you. But coming in at number 3, off of the current album, Kill the Beast, the first single, Run for Your Life. Fantastic song, great guitar playing. It's fast, upbeat, high intensity, melodic power metal, as it were. And the beauty with Chris's songs, they're all 3 minutes long. I mean, seriously, except Kill the Beast, the title track is about 6. Every Impellitteri song is between 3 to 4 minutes. So Run for Your Life, man, what a great song. Again, great drumming, great guitar playing, great bass, great vocal. So we're down to the final 2. And the final 2, one of these is off an album I haven't pulled anything from yet. And several honorable mentions. But this song is another song I'm like, I wish there had been a music video for. I think it's a brilliant riff, a great hook. And with that, Garden of Eden off of Wicked Maiden is my number 2. I cannot tell you how brilliant, how fantastic, what an imaginative piece of heavy metal whimsy. Can I say that? I did. The melody and that ascending riff, the solo, it is mid-tempo, and it's kind of like, it's one of those things where you have all these faster upbeat songs and then the mid-tempo track hits and it locks in, and man, it's memorable. Absolutely memorable. Garden of Eden at number 2. Coming in at number 1, off of the Screaming Symphony album. And as I think about it, you know, in my top 10, I mean, this is a song, what can I say? It's Rat Race. It had to be. I mean, there are so many things that are so close as far as favorites in this top 10, especially in the top 5. In the top 5, my gosh, all of these songs are absolute classics. Rat Race, brilliant song, you know. So there you have it. White Throne Metal Radio's top 10 songs. How about some honorable mentions, huh? Honorable mentions. Also off of Screaming Symphony, Walk Away, Kingdom of Life, Father Forgive Them, which is off of also off of Screaming Symphony. Brilliant track. How about off of Grin and Bear It, Power of Love, great tune. Endless Night, that's a deep cut. Another song, bring that one out, man. That a groove and a half, great melody. Wake Up Sally, another solid tune. Cut 2 others off the EP, Victim of the System, brilliant. That could easily be a concert opener. And Visual Prison, another brilliant hook. That EP has some really awesome stuff on it. Off of the Kill the Beast album, the title track, like I mentioned already, but Hypocrisy and Masquerade. Those 2 songs, man, over and over and over, really. You know, and I love Phantom of the Opera, and I love, you know, Symptom of the Universe. Great songs. Also off of Wicked Maiden, the title track, Wicked Maiden, a great song. Last of a Dying Breed, another great song. Off of Venom, Empire of Lies, the title track itself, Venom. We Own the Night. There are some absolutely brilliant stuff. You know, going back, I'm just kind of going to go look at, you know, I'm looking at Screaming Symphony, You Are the Fire. And you know what? There are 2 albums that really didn't even get much love from me. You know, off of Eye of the Hurricane, Fuel for the Fire, brilliant song. Kingdom Fighter, another great song. Master of Disguise, love it, absolutely. Off of Crunch, Beware of the Devil, Speed Demon. I always thought Speed Demon and Rat Race were very similar in feel. Texas Nuclear Boogie, great instrumental. Spanish Fire, another brilliant song. Slay the Dragon, great stuff. You know, 17th century chicken pickin'. So many great songs from Impellitteri. If you're not familiar with Impellitteri, you gotta go pick up at least the Venom album. You can get it anywhere. Kill the Beast, again, you can get both of those anywhere and go back to their back catalog. Absolutely fantastic stuff. They should be touring the U.S. They should be on the festival circuit, man. I mean, seriously. Of course, now 2020 COVID-19 madness, not much of anything's happening. How about a streaming concert of some sort? Just throwing it out there. There you have it. White Throne Metal Radio's top 10 songs for Impellitteri. Love it. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, encourage your friends. You got to spread the word. Impellitteri is completely one of the most underrated heavy metal bands to come out of the 80s, along with Armored Saint and Riot in my book. All three of those bands. I can name several others. But those three, and King's X, there you go. Those four, along with Sabotage, that's 5. But all of those bands have vast catalogs. Impellitteri is who we're talking about today. But don't forget to say your prayers, folks. Until next time, God bless.